Hey, and welcome back to my Hardspace Shipbreaker run. We're going to jump into another gecko, but this one's going to be a heavy cargo, not a station hopper, so it's interesting to see the different layouts, the internal layouts of these ships. Like, so the outer hull is going to be the same, right? So it's going to be a gecko. But internally, it's going to be quite different, as you will see. Grab that over here. Oops, there we go. And these will come off as well. What are you guys waffling about now? Okay, I think it's just chit chat that's happening down there. Right, so these armor plates we can just shave off. It's just an easy grab, right? And it's also the kind of thing you want to make sure it's past your head before you fire it off, because you saw, or maybe you didn't notice, but that clocked me in the back of the head. But fortunately it was moving quite slowly, so it wasn't a big deal. Okay, so we can see this thing is fully pressurized all the way through and through. It was weird, I could hear the fuses. Okay, where's the airlock? Oh, right there. There we go. And I'm going to come at this largely the way I did before. That is, find a small section to depressurize and try and depressurize it in just small little bursts. Especially because, well, apparently this one has a bit of an asteroid inside. Because if that bounces around, that's going to be a nightmare. Like, it's going to destroy something, right? It's also fun kind of coming around here when there's atmosphere, because you get a lot more experience. Here, there might be one on the other side. There is, and it's broken. Okay. So we're going to have to force decompression. So we can decompress this section, and we can decompress this section. And we can decompress this section. Okay, we're looking good. How about in here? There'd be no way to do that backwards. Okay. Okay, so close you both. Better close that. And then we're going to start decompressing from here. The duration of decompression for me, it's kind of weird because it never seems to line up with the amount of space there is. I kind of feel that the velocity of objects like does line up, and the quantity that gets bounced around does line up. Okay, and now we're gonna pop this one. This one is gonna be the big one. There's big old humps of asteroid. And we didn't get any warnings that anything broke, so we're golden. And there's nothing in here to worry about. Oh, they're airlocks anyway, so they're fine. But they're not the actual external airlocks. Oh, nope, that's open. That's fine. They are the actual external airlocks. You don't do anything. No. Okay, now we can start cutting stuff off. I think we're going to start with the front this time. No particular reason, just doing it different. Can, of course, if you want to vent, you can just like start cutting the hole immediately, and that will, once you cut off a section, you will explosively decompress the whole thing. I don't recommend that because stuff can come at you from anywhere really at that point. Like you've no control over. So like when you do it in the room, stuff can only come at you through the doorway, right? So at least you've some control over where stuff is going to come flying from, and you can angle yourself so you're less likely to get clocked. Whereas if you just pop this, stuff can come from above, it can come from behind. There's a variety of directions it can come from. It's risky. Like you do you, I'm just saying. They're safe. There are plays that are more and less safe than others. I can see it, but I can't. That one is loose, it's just too heavy for me to drag with the grapple. So we're just going to tether it in. You're similar, you're probably attached to stuff in the cockpit. There we go. compartment in the head singing Sailing Away. Oh, I see. This is all like one single piece right now. I suppose that's fine, but I'm never going to be able to move it. It is too heavy. With the two of them separated, should be okay. Assuming they separated. They did not separate. Now they did. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about the aluminium piece on top. I'm just going to ignore it. Because it's not worth much, either as a percentage or as a raw dollar figure. So I'm just going to let it go into the processor. This guy's going to go into the barge. That needs to be cut out separately. Feels like it's moving. That is definitely moving. I think it was just getting dragged a bit. So I think this series is going to end in a couple of videos. And I think where I'm going to end it is on an AI ship, because that's really it. Because I think I need to double check like what's in the game, but I think in this video I've hit all or almost all of the ship types and most of the internal arrangements as well. So I want to do an AI ship because that's really the last kind of significant thing there is. And then I'm going to call it quits on this series at that point. Because like I said in the description, like I'm not doing a full story playthrough. Plus I myself have seen the story a bunch of times. I mean, granted, I did say I would ignore the story, which I obviously have not done. But I think we'll have covered like all the basics, and after that, it's just more of the same. It's grinding away. And game completion, getting to 0 debt, is Well, it's going to be mainly a function of the story. Like, you can theoretically grind to 0 without finishing the story. I don't know how you do it, actually. I think, like, the demo charges mission, I think you'd have to skip that training. But I don't think you can. Like, once you complete a ship, like, you have to do that demo training. Because the story's automatic. The story's on rails. Which I think is a fair criticism of the story. In that you can't speed it up. You can't, like, never mind not having choices, but you can't even make it go faster or slower. And I don't think that's a good choice for a game. It's a choice, sure. It's not the choice that I would make. And I'm surprised how much I like this game, given that that's how the game works. Because normally that kind of stuff annoys me. Where I really dislike the illusion of choice in games. And some games it's more obvious than others. One could contend that all choice in video game is an illusion, and I don't agree with that at all. But yeah, it's not an RPG. That's kind of obvious from the get-go. Right, these guys. These are just a bunch of crates. They're just going to go straight into the barge. They're not complicated in any way. The only thing that can be kind of complicated along here is whether or not they're holding the hull in place. They were not in that case. I might be thinking of a pre-release bug. That is no longer an issue. So we don't all want these things in the same place because the crates go to the barge. Whereas the hull goes to the processor. Are you moving? Oh, super slow. Okay, well, let's speed you along, eh? Now, if you drag the hull, it's not going to detach from the shipping crate, so you want to be careful with that. So I'm just going to detach them before I even touch that hole. There we go. I meant to go under, not over. Nice. Perfect. Well, now that was silly, Brian. Notice how the newer tether is stronger than the older tether. That's a useful mechanic to be aware of. So the one kind of quirk in this particular setup is that you'll notice ECU is all the way over here. So we've got this long ECU pipe, coolant pipe, and the reactors over there. They're not right beside each other, so you've actually got quite a gap to cover once you pop. Like once you deactivate the ECU and the reactor starts to go critical, you've got a fair distance to cover. A little bit of a sprint. It's fine, you have loads of time, there's nothing to panic over. But it's just longer than you would have experienced before in this game. I'm out of tethers. Got 9 minutes left, so yeah, I should go fix that. Oh, it did come off. Nice. If you've any thoughts on what game you'd like to see me play / comment on next, you know, leave it down below, let me know. I'm not about to be smacked, no. Good. So a lot of this game could be called meditative, right? Because you're not doing anything that would requires a lot of high concentrations, a lot of repetitive tasks. Hence the moniker Dad Games. Very Western family value stuff. Very Western. Okay. I've got some thrusters I should get out of here as well. Low effort, high value. High value? Value? Definitely value. Not high value, but definitely value. Now I should grab the panel before I send it off. Oh, we've got our long pause again. I don't know what's causing that. It's weird. My suspicion is it must be like the recording software. There's something about this game that doesn't play nice with Streamlabs OBS. Oh, you're getting caught in the ladder. I thought the ladder was part of that, not the one below. Anyone else get pins and needles when you're playing this game? Like pins and needles in your hand? Your mouse hand get going numb? Or wasp hand going numb when playing this? I don't get it in like any other game. But it's chronic in this game. Keep losing sensation. And I don't know why. I don't feel like I'm doing anything differently. You know, mouse keyboard wise than I am with another game. Like, especially like my left hand, I still have a lot of relatively quick reactions, which I do in other games. I don't feel like I'm pushing down with the heel of my hand more. That's where I'd expect the circulation to get cut. I don't feel that's the case. So it's just weird. It's another kind of weird thing I have in this game. It's unique to this game, and I don't know why. Let's get our $100 for this ladder. Is that just a single square? Nope. That's a shadow. Oh no, that is a single square. Is there something? Yes, there is. Well, I didn't mean to bump it at all, really, but... There we go. And the reactor is next shift. Where's this guy going? Why is this guy spinning? I don't like that at all. set up any rotation on purpose. Not that I never do, but you know, it's pretty rare to want to. Got it. I was worried I was going to miss that. I'm just going to save my LT to the end of the shift. So now I have a nice big fistful to spend. I guess there's the science ship. I haven't done the science ship yet either. So science ship and AI. AI was interesting. AI came in as a Halloween special because the ships are haunted. Doors randomly open and close, which is a pain when you're trying to decompress stuff. And there's a couple of atmospheric, you know, in terms of theme, atmospheric changes to the game, not in terms of actual atmosphere, physics and chemistry and such. Are you? Yeah, that keel is still connected. Let's get rid of this keel. Yeah, there we go. You're not connected anymore. Oh, that's gonna... it hit the pipe. Glad it didn't break the pipe, but it were close. Now you're just being ridiculous. Get in there. What happened to here? I was going to smack me in the face, to be honest. Let's give you some renewed acceleration. Alright, we're going to have to cut this cage. Just the top part should be fine. These things are what? 800 bucks? Yeah, they're kind of worthless. But I mean, you've grabbed it, you might as well bin it. It does not take long. I think it'd be interesting with reactor if its value reduced the closer to full meltdown it got. Just to encourage you to properly disengage the ECU. I'm not saying it should be like that, I just think it would be an interesting mechanic. Okay. That's ready to be yanked. I just need to... Oh. Also got over here, we got more garbage. Stuff is blocking the door. Not really. Okay. So it used to be that I would get really paranoid about like drilling out walls and giving myself room to... But there is so much time here. You can just dawdle, take your time. Let's get that before I forget. Doop, doop, doop. The only real issue are the electrical discharges that come off it. Oh, dude. A little bit of a misfire there, but it's fine. I'm sure it's only slightly dinged. No one will notice. No one will notice. And that's not even because you have so much time. Like, I don't feel any concern about dawdling, you know? I'm not saying I should have to worry about it. I just think it would make it more interesting to add just a little soupçon of pressure, you know, just a little smidge of pressure to get it move along. Am I going to get clonked in the back of the head? No, I'm not. Okay. These thermal spreaders are full of coolant, so if you have a fire on those walls in that region, you just break them. And the fire will be resolved immediately. Or at least that's what the game tells you. I don't know. I've never been in a situation where I have both had a fire and a coolant close to hand. never happened. And maybe there was they had thought when starting it, like the coolant that you pick up out of the ECU, maybe you were supposed to like store that as a resource, so you can have it handy. Because really all you can do is you can grapple it, and that's it. That's all you can do with it. So you either have it handy, maybe after you remove it, you kind of like leave it floating around somewhere, which seems like a terrible idea to me. I gotta remove this floor. In order to get this out. But yeah, I've never seen the point of even trying to deal with the coolant as a fire suppressant. Oh, what am I doing? I don't need to cut that floor because this whole wall is coming off. Because I need that whole wall to go into the processor. Oh well, that was a sick plan. And if the money actually mattered, that would have been a problem. But it don't. Pourquoi? Don't know why that happened. I can only assume that my beam was ever so slightly misaligned and clipped through the ECU. That is frustrating. Just like you should have these collar pieces attaching them to objects, but sometimes you don't. You know. Sometimes the design is slightly off and it's frustrating. Like that, that's too big. There should be a collar piece on the end. But, you know, I mean, I can appreciate it's a pain to build these. Because the piece that I'm talking about, I'm here. Okay, so here's another common, yeah, let's call it a bug. Like it's attached to the pipe, just because the textures are touching. You're killing me. There's the collar piece I wanted. this goes into the processor, so I want to discount this. That should go quite nicely. Now, there should be another radiation box. Oh, there it is. It's over there. Okay, so this lot is done. Yeah, there was a time when these thermal plates had to go into the processor, and I was just like, but you don't give us the tools to remove that. That's not really an option. So we got rid of it, which is good. Oh, so I guess we get a new radio transmission, new story beat. Uh-oh. And the clock in Streamlabs has stopped, so I have no idea how long this video is. I feel it's probably the 4th shift. Oh. So we'll sit through some blather. There we go, ghost ships. And we've seen geckos before. So I think the Stargazer is the science ship I was thinking. Oh, here we go. So here's some more story stuff. I think this is where he's telling us that he's going to deal with Hal. Because Hal is terrified of the people above him, is the analogy he's making. Yeah, not measuring up to the rest of us. And he thinks he can deal with Hal by reassuring him. You can reason with him. Nah. So, you know, the story beat there is Weaver's going to try and chill Hal out, and the next development will be that he fails utterly. And yeah, the AI nodes, when you cut them, they scream. I don't know why I told you ahead of time. what's holding it on? Nothing. Nothing is holding it on. Oh. Good job, Ryan. So the thing about the beds is you can grab like the bottom, like the actual bed part and take it, but if you do that, then the terminal and the mattress are going to fly off separately. And it just makes it more difficult. So while it may seem longer to separate each piece out, like it may seem to take more time, it's actually faster, because then you don't have to go chasing down bits and pieces that have scattered all over the place. I mean, if you can do it in such a way that they don't scatter, then yes, the single separation, focusing on the bed at the bottom, is a faster way to take them apart. I have found in practice, because of a lot of like hidden internal tension in the pieces, so something can, you know, when you separate something, it can suddenly like fly off in a random direction, because that's unpredictable. I found just in general, it's easier to just separate them from the top down. I didn't mean to grab that at all. Excuse me. You know, I don't know. I don't really need to do any more of this. I'm not going to do any more of this. I didn't mean to grab the light like that, but no matter. Alright, let's go refuel. And we're basically done. I don't appear to have left anything floating around. It's just taking its time. But we can just float here and wait. But yeah, so from this point on in the game, there's no new mechanics. There's just gaining XP and the story progressing. Okay, so either these two bars meet, or something's missing. Something's missing, but it's really not something I care about. Did I know we were in orbit? Is that Earth? If that's Earth, I don't recognize the landmass. There's like this bit up here. The only like contiguous landmass that's really that big on Earth is Asia. And southern Asia doesn't approach that close to a pole. And northern Asia doesn't have this big chunk jutting out. And nothing else spreads north to south in that shape. So that's if this is up here is either the north or south pole, nothing kind of juts out that long in that direction. At least not on the, not to my recollection. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's Earth. Gonna spend some skill points and call it quits. So, you know, if you're enjoying what you're watching, let me know in the comment below. Constructive criticism is always welcome, but also, you know, subscribe to the channel. That way you'll know when I post something new. Especially if you want to know when I'm starting the next series. I don't know what I want to do next. Oh, we have a conversation. Is it going to be Lou? No, is it Lou? Am I thinking of Lou? It is Lou I was thinking of. Where you can essentially a video diary again. At least they do you the courtesy of keeping these relatively short. So there is that. And the ones in the morning don't lock you into the narrative. You can do other stuff. And you can effectively skip them just by jumping directly to your shift. Nothing needs repairing. Works out. Alright, let's get our audio up, especially if we're going to be doing AI nodes. I think some extra integrity is a good idea, especially because it's cheap. Let's add our systems in there. Let's reduce the brain rate just to hold on to some money. Okay, so well, that doesn't deteriorate. That doesn't deteriorate, and I don't use them at all, but they're still deteriorating. What's stronger push? Sure. I think that's all there is that I can buy. Yep. Alright, that's it for today, and I will see you in the next one.